Organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on this Wednesday edition of Daily Iowan TV, we have breaking news. 2 officers killed last night in the Des Moines area. And voter breakdown. Student government reaches out before Election Day.
Iowa football had some time during their off week, but our reporters checked in with the team yesterday as they prepare for the Nittany Lions. Find out more coming up here in sports.
We'll have all that and more coming up. Stay with us on Daily Iowan TV. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Bradley Martin. Now to the breaking news. 2 Des Moines, Iowa police officers were killed early this morning. The officers were sitting in separate cars when they were shot in what officials state as an ambush-style attack. The suspect has been identified newly this morning as 46-year-old Urbandale resident Scott Michael Green. The first officer was found in Urbandale and the second in Des Moines, less than 2 miles away. Reporters say there were no apparent ties between Green and the police officers. And University of Iowa student government is helping students understand the voting process and encouraging them to vote early and often. Reporter Mackenzie Cooper has that story.
The voting process can be confusing, especially to many college students who have never voted before. The University of Iowa student government encourages students to get out and vote and helps them understand the process.
If we can give 5-10 minutes of our time to walk people through the process and just kind of break down all of those barriers that if you're trying to navigate yourself seem very complicated, but I can break it down to you in like a 2-step process, then it empowers them to feel like they can vote.
The University of Iowa student government has put on events to help students register to vote and encourage students to vote early. Last week they held a walk to vote event where students gathered at Old Brick and then walked together to the Iowa Memorial Union to vote early.
We highly encourage students to do early voting because we expect the lines to be long on Election Day.
TurboVote is an online platform that allows students to complete the majority of their voter registration online. This week, early voting will be held at the Iowa City Public Library from noon to 4 p.m. Reporting from Iowa City, this is Mackenzie Cooper, Daily Iowan TV.
The University of Iowa Graduate Student Union is requesting the Board of Regents to raise their pay and eliminate their tuition. Representatives of the campaign met with the Board of Regents and university officials yesterday to preset their 2017-2019 collective bargain agreement. The agreement proposes a full tuition scholarship for all union employees and employees appointed for less than a semester. The university currently provides partial scholarships and granting assistance based on credit hours per program. And definitely a rainy morning outside Daily Iowan TV studios. We have Zhao Li standing by in the weather studio with an update. Zhao, tell us more.
Thanks, Bradley. Bad news, we'll see more rain due to the area of low pressure and associated frontal systems moving across the state. We're going to see thunderstorms continue into the afternoon with a temperature of 64 degrees. Moving into the night, the temps will drop down to 46 degrees with partly cloudy skies. And next morning, we should see clear skies again with a high of 66 degrees. Now taking a look at our 6 days extended forecast. The weekend looks great with highs staying in the mid-60s. Friday, we can expect a high of 69 and low of 47 degrees. Saturday, we see similar temperatures but with cloudy skies. Sunday and next Monday will still be gloomy with temps in the mid-60s. That's all I have for you here at the weather studio. Now, Bradley, back to you.
Thanks, Zhao. Gloomy is definitely better than cold, so I'm looking forward to those mid to upper 60s. Upward and onward, a new coffee house influenced by F. Scott Fitzgerald and Ernest Hemingway just opened up off campus. Since Iowa City is an internationally recognized UNESCO City of Literature, the Dingo Bar is the perfect addition. Reporter Alexis Tanzi went and checked it out. Here's that story.
The Dingo Bar, a coffeehouse influenced by Ernest Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald, opened less than a week ago in Iowa City's Peninsula neighborhood. Named after the Paris bar the two figures met in, the restaurant specializes in French beverages and pastries. There are also plenty of books on display for customers to read while relaxing.
Both big readers, and I wanted to take the name of the coffee shop from something in literature, so we started poking around, and it's one of my favorite eras in literary history.
Iowa City was named a UNESCO City of Literature in 2008, which is why the Dingo Bar is the perfect addition.
The community has been really extraordinary. They have been wanting something like this here, which is one of the reasons we thought it would be a good idea to open it, and they've just been incredibly supportive.
With a mixture of 1920s and modern decorations, the coffee house is an atmosphere anyone could enjoy. Jessica Kinney, co-owner, hopes that the Dingo Bar attracts students at the university, as well as people of all ages, to get some studying done, read a good book, or just hang out. This is Alexis Tansey, Daily Iowan TV.
What an exciting addition to the Iowa City area. I definitely will have to check that out before graduation and grab a cup of coffee. With the 2016 Dance Gala just days away, performers are working hard to put their best foot forward. The Dance Gala is one of the biggest annual programs for the dance program. It features faculty choreographed dances as well as guest choreographers. Artistic director Charlotte Adams said dancers hit the ground spinning, and I haven't exactly been letting up yet.
They're a very busy group. In this group, we've been doing quite well. We have some healthy ones. My understudies are ready to go if anything should happen, knock on wood. But luckily, this has been a very healthy group I'm working with right now.
Dancers participate in one routine practice twice a week for 3 hours at a time. And most performers are in multiple routines and practice up to 5 days a week on top of their other dance classes for school. So pretty exciting to have that here. Moving on to sports here, I know the Cubs have been a big buzz topic, but what about UI sports? Zach Mackey is standing by with your full update. Zach?
That's right, exciting in November when we get to Cubs talk, and also exciting for the Iowa football team. As last week we heard from Iowa's offensive and defensive coordinators about what Iowa was working on as a team during their off week. So this week we thought we'd have a little fun and see what the team really did on their short little break. Taylor Brooks tells us more.
A bye week in college football is for a lot of things, a physical and mental break, plus rejuvenating the body. And for Iowa football, it was all of those things, and then some.
It's really nice, to get away mentally and physically, just recover a little bit, and then it's also fun then to come back in Sunday and prepare for a fun Big Ten away game.
I went to Ike's house for a couple of days and hung out with him back in Cedar Falls. Kind of relax and got to watch some games on Saturday. Just kind of relax. His family's great. Like a second family here for that. So that was nice to do.
I got to go back home, relax a little bit, do a little bit of fishing, and just relax. So it was nice to to be able to take a little break.
I went to the Michigan State game. Just sat there with my friends and watched the game. It's rare that I get that opportunity, just to get go back home, because it's a good long drive, but it's not bad. But like I said, it felt good, to get back home and see my family and friends. It was a little weird, especially when you're surrounded by a sea of green. So it was a little weird, but I had to support my school. I was wearing some Iowa gear in the stands as well.
I dressed up a little bit. I was a pirate for Halloween.
Well, my costume wasn't as good as Jalil's pirate costume, but now let's see if Iowa can go win November. Reporting outside the football facility, this has been Taylor Brooks with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
As Taylor said, winning in November is now on this team's mind. And on Friday, we tell you how they plan on going 4-0 this month and how it all started and it will all start now with number 12 Penn State on Saturday night. The Iowa women's gymnastics team still has some time to get ready for their upcoming season, and their coaches have installed a new mission statement to help them in and out of the gym this season. Mary Kate Harriet has more.
As each team gets ready both mentally and physically during their preseason, they also add a mission statement. And this year, the Iowa women's gymnastics team began their I Am campaign.
The biggest motto we have is I am enough. It's been going on since my sophomore year. Now we really tried to put that into everything we do, not only our gymnastics but our school, to really believe in us as a team and yourself.
With gymnastics, it's a sport that you start at a perfect score and then you just start deducting right away. So knowing that you're enough and just means like you're perfect inside no matter what the other people, like the judges, say to us. So like we're just enough and perfect on the inside.
It's very difficult for an athlete when they lose their sport, whether that's retirement, injury, it's just time, graduated, time to move on. What they are, if you ask them, they will define themselves as a gymnast. And so beyond that, they really don't know who they are. Our whole mission is to make sure that they know what they bring to the table, who they are, that what they are is enough.
Along with installing the I Am campaign, the team is also getting ready to begin their upcoming season with the hope that their mission will help prepare and create a positive and strong team environment.
So we do mental training every week, and so we're just trying to prepare ourselves for the upcoming season. It's a very tedious process and continuing to keep ourselves as mentally strong as possible. And then with preseason, it's definitely been a trying situation, and it's been very hard this season, this preseason, but it's all worth it because this upcoming season is going to be so worth it, and we're preparing ourselves as the best way as possible.
You know, we've been doing a lot of mental training to believe in ourselves, that I am enough motto, and a lot of mental training and putting a lot of physical part in it too. That now is the tough time. It's preseason, so we're putting in all the work so that we'll be ready for when the time comes. We know we are enough to put in the work. Like, we're strong enough, we're smart enough, we have all that. And being women too, we're enough to do anything that we want to do in the world.
Now the team has about 2 months left to get ready for their first meet on January 8th at NIU. Reporting for Iowa Gymnastics, this has been Mary Kate Harrian, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Now, as Mary Kate said, the team will have their first meet in January, but first they'll have their black and gold inter-squad meet on December 3rd. Swimmer Jack Smith has had to travel the distance to become a Hawkeye, and Liv Corbett tells us more.
Leaving his home in Stoke-on-Trent, England, sophomore Jack Smith has found his new belonging here on the University of Iowa's swim team.
There was just something about here, the people, the campus is great, the team vibe was amazing. I mean, I came in on my trip in March, in February, so I was on my own. So but I felt like everyone on the team was very nice and welcoming.
He immediately fit in very well socially and with the team. But what he does bring to the table is he has more international experience. So he has competed probably at bigger meets than some of the kids that we would get normally, and that just adds again more experience for him, which helps us in the Big Ten.
Although just a sophomore, Jack Smith has the mentality and ability to be a leader for the Iowa swim team. As the season continues, Smith not only has high expectations, but has set several goals for himself.
This year, I want to make NCs individually. I mean, last year I made it for a relay, which is great, obviously, but this year I want to go back again for the relays and go individually, which will take me, I've got to drop about 0.5 or 6 on my 100 free, but it's doable.
I see him taking more of a leadership role now, and we've been definitely pushing him towards that, and I see him accepting that challenge. We want to get more relays to NCAAs, and he's a key part of that.
Reporting inside the CRWC, this has been Olivia Corbett with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Watch Jack and the rest of the Iowa swim team tomorrow as they compete against South Dakota State here in Iowa City. Now, Tom Brands will address the media later today at the team's annual Media Day. We'll have full coverage from Coach Brands and his wrestlers on tomorrow's show. Bradley, back over to you.
Thanks, Zach. Looking forward to that. The Hispanic population is growing at a state and national level, and so is the number of Hispanics eligible to vote. As the presidential election approaches, the Daily Iowan explored the town of West Liberty, just 15 minutes east of Iowa City, where Hispanics are the majority population. We talked to Hispanic leaders in West Liberty and across Iowa about the significance to the Hispanic vote and the impact the growing population has on communities. Check out Daily Iowan's film production of the story later this week. And just like that, that will wrap up our Wednesday morning newscast. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Bradley Martin. For Daily Iowan TV, we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Have a great day, Iowa City.